What's up, guys? It's Heaven's Reaper 93 here. I posted this video a couple of weeks ago and I was quite ill when I done it. I'm still recording off my mobile phone, so please excuse that. Anyway, I've reviewed the deck, the video I posted, which I will be taking down because in my opinion it wasn't great. So technically that was just a random video basically. This is my first official video on my Battlin boxer deck. I am debating on whether to sell this deck because I don't really play it, so yeah. On the deck profile, I won't be describing every card because some of the choices are pretty obvious. So yeah, on the deck, we start with 3 copies of Switcher. Yeah, your main playmaker really. Instantly joke, basically. So yeah, not much to say about him, to be honest. 3 Glassjaw, again, pretty much mandatory at 3, just like Switcher is. So I'm not going to explain it. Anyone who's familiar with this deck should know what they do. 3 Headgeared, Foolish Burial of the deck. Once per turn he can survive while he's in attack mode as well. So when he by Foolish Burial, I mean when he's normal summoned, you can ditch a level 4 or not level 4, yeah, just a Battlin boxer monster from your deck. So it's always nice to thin the deck a little bit. We played 2 copies of the new guy, or relatively new, in form of Shadow. He's a free special summon by detaching a material from a Battlin boxer XZs, so you can partly joke, you can detach one from Nova Kaiser and then just reattach one again, so you won't lose anything. So, but you can use that effect once per turn, and he's an 1800 BR, so second to Glassjaw, he's the strongest monster in the archetype. That's it for the boxers. For the non-boxers, I play 2 copies of Thousand Blades, free special summon from the graveyard really, when I take battle damage, so that's always nice. That's the only really effect I use on him. 3 copies of the Assault Halberd, the Cyber Dragon of the deck. If I control any monsters, I can summon him from the hand. When he inflicts battle damage, I can search out a heroic, including himself. So and I've got 5 targets for that effect, so that's always nice to be able to search the deck again. We played 2 copies of the Blue Flame Swordsman. Lose 600 attack points on him and transfer it to any other warrior monster that I control. When he's destroyed by a card effect or battle by the opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, I can target 1 fire monster, I can banish him, and then summon that target, and that includes the XYZ monsters of Legiok and Nova Kaiser as well. So yeah, and we play 3 copies of Firehand and 2 copies of Ice Hand. These are the best ratios in my opinion to play the hands in, because most decks do play. Some decks play back row, some don't. So that's why I don't main 3 Ice Hand. Sorry, Fire Hand's good for popping monsters. Ice Hand's good for popping back row. They each special summon each other. Again, deck thinning and they float. So it's always nice. That's it for the monsters. On to the spells. We are playing 2 copies of the Mystical Space Typhoon. Self-explanatory, really. I'm not going to explain that. 2 copies of Battlin Boxer Spirits. Gets Cloggy at 3. You can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, target 1 Battlin boxer in your graveyard, summon it in defense mode. However, you can only activate 1 of those a turn. It's nice if you just have 1 on the field, then you activate that, bring another 1 back, an instant rank 4. So that's always nice. We play for the 1-offs. We play the 1 Soul Charge, self-explanatory really. It's Soul Charge. That's for mass XZ summoning. We play the 1 Foolish Burrow itself, pretty much self-explanatory. Like I explained with Headgeared, thins the deck. Book of Moon flips your opponent's monsters face down when they're attacking, which negates the attack. Or you can target any other monster you want. It doesn't have to be when it's attacking. Just change it to face down, so could help you run over something. In my opinion, it's a staple card. For the last spell card, we play the 1 Rotor. This deck would be a lot more consistent if this was a 3, but it's not, unfortunately. So yeah, it just allows you to add a level 4 or level warrior monster to protect your hand, really. So it's self-explanatory in any deck that's quite heavy on the warrior count, which I have most of my warriors, most of my deck is, apart from the Ice Hand and the Fire Hands. They are non-warriors I'm playing. So this card searches out anything in the deck, really, which is always nice. Now on to our trap cards. We are playing 2 copies of Jolt Counter, the new trap for the Battlin boxers, really. During the battle phase, they can't activate any spell trap or monster effects because this card will negate it, which stops cards like Honest, Mirror Force, Deep Prison, stuff like that. Call the Haunted, Pinpoint Guard. Because as long as I control the Battle box monster and it's the battle phase, either mine or theirs, which is always nice. It gets over a lot of hand traps, really. I play 2 copies of Call of the Haunted. Self-explanatory, really. Just allows me to revive monsters I've already used. I played 2 copies of Mirror Force. One of the cards, one of my favourite trap cards, to be honest. So yeah, it allows you to destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. I played 2 copies of the Deep Prison. Gets over cards the your opponent's got the avoid destruction such as 101 and other cards, because this doesn't destroy. It does target, unfortunately, but it banishes, so it's alright. I play the one for the one-ons. I play 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, and 1 Warning. 3 staples. Very self-explanatory, really. Not going to say too much about them. That's it for the main deck. Yeah. So yeah, this is my first video, so do excuse me. So yeah, any feedback would be great. For the extra deck, we played 2 copies of Lee Joke. Self-explanatory in any box in deck. 3, I wouldn't use 3 because I don't seem to go into it often. I seem to mainly focus on Nova Kaiser because I can pump him up quite quickly. And Lee Joke is alright, but in my personal opinion, since Nova Kaiser came out, it's more of 3 for 2 or 3 for 1, because I've seen a lot of people just playing 1 Lee Joke, but personally I would only play 2. Going into the next monster, 3, number 79, Nova Kaiser. Great card, incredible effect. Once per turn, I can attach a Battlin box monster from a hand or graveyard as a material. He gets 100 attack for each material, so when he comes out anyway, he's 2500. When he's destroyed by opponent's card or battle and sent to my graveyard, I can target level 4 Battlin boxes in my graveyard up to the number of materials and target him, which could allow for another resummon, which is always nice. For the non-boxing monsters, I play the 1 Cowboy. Self-explanatory card, it's a staple in my opinion. Again, another staple is 101. Pretty good. My personal favourite XYZ monster, Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. This is personal preference. I've seen a lot of this that don't use it, but in my opinion, it's an incredible monster. I love the artwork. So yeah, that's why I run it, and doesn't take up a lot of space really. Number 50, Black Ship. Again, another favourite of mine. Always nice. I run a lot of staple rank 4s really, because this is more of a toolbox, in my opinion, toolbox deck. 1 Raggy. Stock cards that like powering up monsters, destroy their attack position monster if it's got a different attack than it should have, and then I get to draw cards. That's always nice. And for the last monster, we play 1 with number 52, Diamond King Crab. What my deck lacks is a lot of defense, and this card sort of makes up for 3,000 defense. It's always nice. So yeah, the upcoming deck profiles in the future are going to be Ritual Beast, Constella, Synchron. What else am I planning? In my Noble Knights, which is one of my top 3 favourite archetypes. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. And I will also be doing like card reviews on like selected cards, like random cards that I've in my collection, and just like reviewing them, like what I personally think about the cards. So yeah, look out for that. Thank you very much.